right, everybody, and welcome to TrainWorld's Facebook Live. And today we have a very special edition and very special guest, Ryan Kunkel of Lionel Trains. How you doing, Ryan?
Very well. Great to be back again, Ken.
All right, likewise. And you got your library in the background, so it's like the CNBC Wall Street episode.
Yeah, we're back here. We're still working from home, so I'm up here in my library / workroom, and it's a good comfortable place to sit and talk trains.
The study. Very nice. And hello, everybody. We're seeing Derek Thomas. How you doing, Derek? Nice to see you. And Randy, how you doing? Everybody out there. So thank you, guys. And hopefully everyone's safe and well and enjoying a time off. And we want to do a quick thank you to all the first responders, all the people on the front lines and just working hard. So we appreciate everyone out there. But let's talk trains. We're gonna be a positive episode, and we'll see what Ryan has for us in store today.
All right, we've got lots going on. I'm glad you continue to do these with us, Ken, and with all the manufacturers. I think this is really a great service to the whole hobby industry, but also to all of us who are out there hungry for train content and just good news in general these days, something positive and uplifting. So this is great, and it gives us an opportunity to let people know that while things are certainly out of the ordinary, we've done anything but come to a stop here at Lionel, and I'm sure it's the same way at other companies all around as we continue to bring out good product. All of our factories are working really hard right now. We've got lots of inbound shipments. You'll be seeing some things coming to you guys directly here in the next couple of days or weeks as we get more releases out. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And
I saw that we're getting a couple of shipments from you guys. So it seems like you're getting starting to ship and get some good stuff out to us. Anything new, exciting, or stuff we should be crossing our fingers for?
Sure. The first thing that you'll be seeing coming out next, the container arrived last week and went in and inspected everything. Cool. A lot of our 21-inch passenger cars. This will include some of the Norfolk Southern business cars. This will include some of the Union Pacific business and other cars there, the 2-packs. And then also the Alaska. Some of the Alaska cars are on this shipment as well. And the Lion Master SD80 and SD90 Max came in. So our first LC 2.0 diesels will be shipping out. So you'll have those in store here in the very near future. We have another container that's due to come in either middle of this week or possibly early next, depending on the shipping schedule exactly. And that'll include some more fast track and a lot of American Flyer rolling stock. So for Flyer guys out there, you've got some cool stuff coming in on the very near horizon. Beginning of June, our F7s and SD38s legacy scale models will all be arriving. We'll be getting those turned and on their way out to you as quickly as possible. We also have some 18-inch passenger cars that just went on the water a couple of weeks ago. The Santa Fe cars that go along with the Northerns. So those are now on their way here. So a lot of good items are already in transit, and we've got a number of locomotives that are just about to leave. In fact, I've got one here. I think I showed a picture of this when we were on for Virtual York, but now I've got right here in my hands the production sample of the blue B&O EM1. These were in the C2 catalog of last year. We'll take some pictures of these and get some better, nice still shots out there up on our Facebook page for those who are wanting to take a look and see all the details up close. We got a sample of this, and the DM and IR are here, and I'll be taking these into the office in the next day or so to put them on the test track and test everything out. Here's the tender here. We'll see how long I can do this with a 10-pound locomotive.
Yeah, we're actually close to being sold out on these. These are built-to-order engines. Beautiful engines, and they kind of sneak in there, but it seems like people are starting to get the buzz around. So
yeah, really beautiful locomotive. This is one of the fantasy steams, of course, and I'm really happy with the way this royal blue turned out. I think it is a very striking paint scheme. So for those who love the B&O and want some beautiful blue power, we've got that coming at you. Let me see if I can share my screen here and pull up some other images for you.
And it seems like you guys they're shipping from China, which is great. So it doesn't seem like there's too much of a holdup. So thankfully, Ryan has some stuff from China coming in. So that's great.
We've got lots of things coming in, and they're on the roll now. You know, the spring for us in shipments is always a little slow because of Chinese New Year anyway. So we're getting a little bit of a later start on the rollout than normal, but not much. And we've requested a lot more samples to come our way because of the lack of direct contact as much. So we're seeing more things up front and early on and in the process. So actually we'll be able to share more things with you guys now than we would have been in previous years. So
Right.
I'm going to show you a couple of things here. If you're seeing my screen up there, hopefully.
Yeah, the Lionel L.
Right. Yep, this is our Lionel Tank Car. This is a deco sample of this car. You can see it there lined up against the artwork. These pictures just came to us this morning from our factory. This was a popular piece. A lot of people really like this. We introduced a craft brew can at the LCCA convention last year, and it was quite well received. So, and it's a good tasty ale also. We've got the tank car coming for that. These will be shipping this summer. Coming from the same factory. Let me see if I can make this work. If the video link will click here. This is a pre-production sample of our lighted fast track as well.
Yeah, the lighted fast track, we have so many pre-orders on that. It's unbelievable. You may have to share the screen for the video, Ryan.
Okay.
But the lighted fast track is really, the amount of pre-orders are insane. And if you have a Christmas train layout, something running around the tree, or the holidays, or perhaps even a windowsill or a little diorama, you have to get these. I mean, the train rolls around the tracks, but the lights follow the train. It's just really neat, and hopefully, not sure if Ryan will be able to get the video, but we do have videos up online ourselves if you can't get that to work.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to switch over to the different screen, and I'm, as you can tell from the amount of books I keep here, Ken, I'm old school when it comes to technology. So.
It's okay. It's okay.
But we'll get that up there on our site as well. If you've seen the previous videos, it's very much the same concept, but we've into production phase on that. You've described it beautifully. It's a really cool thing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing those come out in time for Christmas this year.
So you're thinking before Christmas we'll get those in?
Yes, absolutely. That's our goal with those. We're looking at deco samples of some of the early deco samples of the train sets now for the rolling stock. So they're getting ready to start the printing on those. And these are early pre-production samples of the track that we've now got all the tooling fixed for that, and we're ready to go into production. So they're large orders. They'll take a little while to build, but there should be no issues getting those to you all in plenty of time for the holiday rush.
Right. That's good.
We've also got some deco shots here of our trolleys. These are always a popular item. We've got the anniversary trolley there, the throwback to one of the old Lionel models. The Halloween end of the line trolley has some really great graphics on it. This one's going to be wonderful on layouts. And then the Fort Collins Municipal Railway is prototype based and very similar to our Lionel models. So also a good seller for us based on catalog sales. So excited to see those things coming down the line.
And Ryan, just a couple of questions, 2 updates that I've seen people, multiple questions on just any status on the big boy and also the 440s. Yep,
I'll be getting to those just a second.
Okay. All right, I'll hang tight. Questions. I'll hang tight.
Yep, nope, excellent questions. All right, I mentioned some of the other 21-inch passenger cars earlier. Oh, wow. These will be coming here very soon. These are the cars from the Busch funeral train set. So we've got the baggage car there. This is similar to the one we've done in the past, but now, of course, we'll have the open door, so you'll see the figure and the casket inside. We've added the presidential seal here to the left of the door as for the prototype. And then we have the new domed dining car. And then also in the set will be another diner and the new observation car. So there you can see some of the new tooling there. These are the cars from the set, but there are similar cars to these that are on their way to you right now in the 2-packs available that were done separately. So these have turned out really great, and something I know a lot of UP guys are very excited to see coming down the track.
Now, these are samples that the factory makes, and they send it to you to approve, or
yes. So what we do now is, as they shoot, we approve the each project at multiple stages throughout its production run.
Gotcha.
So on the projects you're seeing here, several months back, we got color samples in hand of all the different colors being used on the model, so we could check against our color references here and make sure the paint was a match. Now what we're seeing are shots of the finished deco after all the different pad printing and decals and laser printing have been applied to the model to make sure that all of the data is right, all the printing is correct, and so forth. And then the next step will be a final production sample like you saw here in my hands earlier with the EM1. So we're seeing these at multiple stopping points along the way so that if there are problems, we can correct them before the factory gets too far and we have to make a longer delay in the production run. And also then the advantage is when it looks good, we can pass it on and show people the good news and the progress and give you some hope as to when these things may actually start showing up.
Yeah, good thinking.
Yep. Here we have some of the cars from the Lionel 120th Lionel Limited. These were featured in the C1 catalog along with the Vision GS4. These will beat the locomotive here by a couple of months. These will be probably arriving late summertime time frame. And then the locomotives will be arriving November, December time frame right now. They're towards the end of the
colors
because of all the complexity in the Vision engine. But still definitely on track to make the year. So these were limited to 120 pieces. So if you have time, I think there's still some available for pre-order if there's some out there who want a great collector's item. But this was a 7-car set altogether and will look amazing behind one of those Vision GS4s.
It's funny. So we did a factory tour with you guys and visited the Carolina plant. It's got to be like 6 years ago, maybe. And we saw you guys paint doors or different like ductwork, orange and blue. So we have the same colors as these cars all around our retail store, our bathroom doors. We just went crazy with the Lionel orange and the Lionel blue. But they're sharp looking colors. They look good.
Well, now that you've said that your bathroom is painted in Lionel colors, I'm sure Rich and Andy will have some colorful commentary the next time you have them on.
Yeah, we didn't do the purple and yellow. It's got to be orange and blue. Right? They bust our chops every time they use the bathroom.
Let's see what else we have here in line. F7s. I mentioned these will be these are on the water now. Or will be soon. These are some deco shots of the Norfolk Southern units. Nice. When we spoke at Virtual York, I had just some earlier shots of the shells. Here you see them complete with all the grab irons and details applied. These turned out really beautifully. And then also just a few quick shots of the Alaska and Rio Grande paint schemes. These will all be arriving about another month or so, I believe. And these turned out great. You can see all the different detail variations that we've done from road name to road name on these locomotives. It's one of the fun things of doing with the legacy models. Different pilots, different horns, and headlight locations, and roof details, and so forth. It's definitely taken the models to another level over the last couple of years, and something that I'm pretty proud that we've been able to do.
So when you get these like models back, do you like research? How do you quickly like find these pictures and match up the details, or is it old school, or you use Google?
It's definitely a mixture of both.
Yeah.
The majority of the research is done long before we ever get to the production sample phase.
Gotcha.
So the research is what happens. Is all that's happening the year to 2 years before you guys ever see it in the catalog.
Wow.
And then after the catalog comes out, the real experts let us know what we got wrong, and then we can make some changes there. And I don't say that jokingly. There's a lot of times that we make mistakes, and
right.
It's good to have that feedback.
Okay,
and it's one of the advantages of the build-to-order model and the delayed production model is it also gives us time to get that feedback from you all while we're putting orders together and make the changes before we get to production.
Right.
So then once we have that data together, it's all in a file. Those go over to the factories. So when we get a sample like this, it's not about really having to go out and do a lot of research at that point, but go back to the research we've already done, go back to the color swatches that we've pre-approved for various railroad colors, etc., and just do a quick matchup and say, okay, is this right? Is this right? And we try to do this by passing them around the office a little bit too. That's a little bit more challenging now with the separation, but it's nice to have different people taking a look at it.
Right.
The thing that jumps right out at me as being glaringly wrong is going to be different than the other thing. Something else someone's going to look at. Somebody who knows how to spell, for example, is probably going to catch a lot of stuff that I'll just miss.
Right.
But it's a good way for us to take multiple looks at it, and we'll put them on a test track and test samples too. Again, that also goes through pre-approvals. We have engineering samples. You've seen some of those from us in the past. They're usually unpainted models that we've had on or at your store at different times. Lacking a lot of the details and the glitz and glamour, but it helps us test functionality, test the code, and so forth to make sure that everything is working properly. But even then, we'll still pull a production sample and make sure that they work as well. And then when these arrive in-house before they ship, one of us will go in and pull a couple of random samples off of each SKU, put it on a test track, test it, run it, examine the deco. If we see any pattern of problems that would be indicative of something that might be wrong in the run, it gives us a chance to hopefully catch it and pull it off before it gets out to you guys. So
and
we're
that's
doing
amazing.
everything we can to try and ensure that the quality stays high through all of these new changes that we're going through. And in some ways, I think it'll force us to be more focused and on all ends of the spectrum across the line, and should benefit the consumer ultimately in the long run.
Without a doubt. And that's amazing how long of a process these trains really are. A lot of people think, oh, it's simple. You just slap a paint scheme on and off you go. I mean, you're talking 2 years of, planning and getting everything up and running. And that's not to mention the tooling and, the different manufacturing process. So these are really intricate models to build. And, the amount of product, different SKUs that you do, multiply that out. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a long process. It really is typically about a 3-year start to finish process, from the start of concept to the research to putting everything together to get it quoted, then having the artwork done, getting it in the catalog, your order cycle, your production cycle, delivery, and that's 3 years till we get it to you. And then you've hopefully aren't carrying it forever in your store, but a lot of these things may have a life even longer than that through their sell-through periods. So
right.
It doesn't happen overnight. Though sometimes we can turn a project pretty quickly. In general, it's a longer process to make things happen.
Gotcha.
Here's one of our Polar Express elf-warming sheds. These will be delivering in plenty of time for Christmas as well. One of the new Polar Express accessories. It feels early to be talking about Christmas, but it's never too early to be talking about Christmas.
Christmas in July is coming up.
All right, and then someone mentioned the big boy. So
yeah.
We saw some pre-deco shots of the early work on these big boys about a week ago, and we are in the middle of there's in the middle of deco work on these at the factory right now. Here you see the main boiler casting for the Greyhound version. And then also up there in the corner, this is the tread plate from the cab in the 4014 models. And I wanted to show that off a little bit. It's one of the cool details that we've added to this new run. Once we saw the photos from its unveiling, having that cast plaque in the floor was really cool. So we made a new etched brass plate that will go in the floor of the two 4014 models. So you'll have that plate there on the floor of the cab, which is a pretty cool detail that we were able to capture on that. This was definitely one of our big sellers. As you can see, we're in the early stages of production now. We're hoping to have a pre-production model sample sent to us in about a week's time.
Oh, wow.
So once that gets here, we'll probably post some video of that up online as well, so you can see it running here.
Nice.
And it should only be a few more weeks, maybe another month or so in the production run on this model, and they'll be on their way to us.
Yeah, Ryan, make sure you tell Mike if he video records it, if you could send us the video so we could share that out, because people will love to see it really up and live. And it's amazing. The big boy, no matter how many times a company makes it or comes out with it, everybody needs one, two, three. I mean, it's amazing how many big boys people order. It's you know, every time I think, okay, you know, the market is done with big boys, everybody loves it. I mean, it goes around and has been doing a tour, and you know, people get to see how massive the engine is. It's just beautiful. So it's just really nice to see a huge steam engine up close and personal like that, and people want to replicate that when they model.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me too how many times you can run some of these locomotives, like a big boy or a 611 or a GS4, and people just gobble them up. Everyone's got to have one or six.
And John actually had a good idea to do a big boy and flyer again.
Big boy and flyer again. It's been considered. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. But very nice. Cool. And, thank you for sharing this picture.
Yeah. Let me see what else we've got here. I think I have one or two more shots on here.
Cool.
If I can find my cursor. So we'll end up with this one here before I show a few more things that we have in person. Yeah. This is the cab from the Santa Fe Blue Goose Northerns. So these are right behind the big boys, I believe, either right behind or right ahead of the big boys in production there as well. So those Northerns from C2 are in the deco phases now. I picked this shot just because it was nice and colorful and really shows off some of the work better than, you know, a shiny black boiler casting. But these are going to be a really great, great locomotive, well received, and looking forward to seeing samples of these here in the flesh in the not too distant future as well. So as you can tell, there's a lot going on over in the factories right now, and we are really moving full speed ahead on all of this.
Yeah, and it's good that you show that picture, because a lot of people think, oh, you just make, you know, the whole train and then you just spray paint it. There's different parts and components, and I mean, there's probably hundreds of parts that go into a locomotive.
Oh, easily hundreds of parts in any of these models. Not even including when you get inside them, some of the complexities inside the model. But yeah, it takes a long time to build these. But they're built in sub-assemblies. Sub-assemblies are then checked and double checked before final assembly and so forth. So we see these things coming together in pieces. We often don't share a lot of that stuff with you. It's, you know, seeing a bare chassis run around an oval of fast track is more exciting to us for quality control for the public, I'm sure. But those things are all happening with every one of these projects that we do.
Yep. But I think it's cool to see as a backdrop, because not a lot of our customers who buy your products get to see the behind the scenes like this. So it's nice to see pictures like that.
Yeah, I think that's true in any of any industry, right? Seeing how it's made, seeing how it comes together. Maybe not the meatpacking industry, but in most industries, it's, you know, it's really cool to see how these things are made and where it comes from. So whether you like trains or just have idle curiosity, that's some fun stuff. And you know, it's nice to be able to show people a bit of a behind the scenes look whenever we can.
Very nice.
We still have some more time here.
Yeah, keep on going.
I do have a few samples, some HO product here on tap as well.
Yeah.
We talked about these back in March. These are some things, some new announcements. This is the Burning Down Township fire station. This is just a deco sample.
Now, is it a kit or a built up?
This is a built up.
Okay, cool.
So it should come pretty much the way you see it here. There were a few things on the graphics we want to tweak and improve, but this one was, for the most part, ready to go into production. Also have a really fun one of our built-up houses. This will be available both in built-up and kit form. This is the Hitchcock House, as we've named it. Really good looking kit, new variation from some of the old model power tooling with some, different additions and so forth. But a really, really good looking building, and one I'm probably going to kit out myself one of these days and build up from scratch. So they're coming along nicely. Also got a couple of deco samples of some of the rolling stock. Again, we'll put these up online, get some pictures of them up online so you can see them better than me trying to hold them up to a webcam here. But these are Redding and B&O hoppers, and the printing on these has turned out very beautifully. So for relatively inexpensive, $20 freight cars with metal wheels, metal couplers, nice weight to them, really nice crisp graphics. It's not the newest tooling in the world, but you put a train of these together and you'll have a good looking and good running train on your layout for relatively, little money.
Yeah, and for everyone out there, so Lionel has started to expand on their HO line. We do carry all their HO items at TrainWorld.com. So Lionel has been, the standard of trains and the biggest name in trains since the beginning. But it was O scale predominantly in recent years. But now they're dabbling into HO and expanding into the market. So it's nice to see some of the products that you guys offer now. And those buildings, we actually did get some buildings and kits from you guys. And the colors and marketing, I mean, they just stand out in the aisle. The packaging is just really nice. So it's nice there you go. It's nice in the retail store where you have, people coming in and they just see Lionel trains and selling HO products. So I think it's really good for the hobby, where a general consumer may walk in who's not familiar with trains, but they know Lionel and they see that blue and orange and pick something up. So that's really nice.
Yeah, if you've never built a kit before, these are a great kit to get started on. Over the past weekend, we filmed building one here at my house. We're trying to get that video edited. It takes a while to cut me down to size and make it decent. But we did put together one of the simple kits, and we'll walk you through that process. So if you've never built a kit before and you're stuck inside and just can't binge watch any more TV shows, here's a great excuse to try something new and really expand your options. One last cool product I want to show. These are some early pre-production samples, so they're not fully decoed yet, but we've been expanding our HO Magnalock track, and so we've got some great new samples of that here.
Very cool.
We started off last year with the straight and curve sections. We'll be adding in a variety of different lengths of straights down to 1 inch lengths of straight. There'll be a 90-degree crossover coming. Also a couple various arc segments. This is a 10-degree or 20-degree and 10-degree curve in the 20-inch radius curve. So lots of fun stuff coming there. So you guys will be able to expand your Magnalock layouts and build more complicated track plans than just ovals and circles. But this was all designed with the idea of making it very easy for the person who's just getting started, building a temporary layout. I'm actually trying to figure out how I could incorporate these into our modules, because traveling to show to show and being able to just drop that into connection pieces for modular layouts would just be a dream, instead of having to fool with rail joiners all the time.
Good idea.
So these are really nice pieces. It's a well-designed product, and if you haven't had a chance to see some in person yet, get to your hobby shop that has these and just play with it for a little bit, because it's fun. You can sit there and entertain yourself for a good long while, just snapping track sections together.
It's the new fidget, like the new fidget spinner, the Magnalock. But two things on that. One, Lionel did a great video just to show the track, and we actually threw it up on our YouTube channel as well as did Lionel. But they were kind enough to make this video, so it kind of shows you what it really is connecting, and it's very simple. Just you get two pieces of track and magnetic, and it clicks together. And Ryan actually had a tip for us. We should actually call this Ryan's Tips, and we do a Monday segment for Ryan's Tips. But basically, if if you do have any issues, you could always put a joiner in, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. So this track was all designed with expansion in mind, and the idea that you would transition from this to a more permanent layout or a larger system at some point. So it's all made with quality materials. You've got Code 83 rail, nickel silver rail, and to connect this to any existing track system, all you need to do is there's two little tabs here underneath the end of each rail to help support it. You can trim that back real easy with a hobby knife, slide a regular rail joiner in there. We make those as well in packs of 24. And then also if you're building a larger layout or you want to save some money and not have to continue buying little packs, we have a spool of 400 of them to make it easy for you. And you can just slide that in there and connect your track as you normally would. If you want the extra connection besides just the spring electrical terminals on here, or if you're connecting to an existing layout or you want to use other manufacturers' switches, etc., you've got lots of options until our track line gets completely expansive and can do everything you want.
And the guys on the Facebook comments are wanting to see it in O scale, Ryan. So you got your work cut out for you.
We've gotten that comment a lot. And the main difference is, while these magnets are really strong, and you know, I made the mistake of disassembling one of these pieces earlier and found out how really strong they are and what a pain in the butt it can be to separate them and reassemble them properly. There's a little bit of difference between the mass and inertia of even a nice heavy HO locomotive and something like this EM1. So, you know, when you take a 15-pound steam locomotive and run it around an 48 curve, you're putting a lot of strain on that track. And it's something that I just, I'm a little leery that, I'm sure we could probably put enough magnets in there to make it work, but at that point, the cost of the track would be so expensive and the weight of the track would be something rather severe too, that probably not as practical as it is in the smaller scales, unfortunately.
Okay, all right, interesting. Well, maybe just for you know, the simple layouts or something like a window display. But interesting thought. You never know what you come up with. And what about the 440s?
Oh, 440s, thank you. I'll be seeing deco samples again of those here probably in another 2 weeks, looking at the updated factory schedule from today. Those are coming along well. We have another pre-production sample coming to engineering in the next couple of days to go over those and make sure that all of the tuning is right. There were a few small things that we found in the initial samples they sent mechanically that we wanted to address before we went into production. So we're going to review that and then take another look at the deco here in the very near future. And for those who saw the earlier deco samples that we had out back around January, there'll be some subtle changes from what you saw then after going back with some of the historians we've been working with on the project for the Jupiter and the 119. But they're going to look pretty similar to that. There's nothing drastically changing on any of these. You know, a shade or two different here and there in some of the reds and blues. Maybe a part that was painted black that we think maybe now should be painted red, something like that. But very minor details. They're going to be some of the most beautiful models that Lionel has ever produced. We'll be seeing more deco samples of the passenger cars soon as well. The code was just released for those. For the sound, so we're moving along on those. I got to figure out where in the house my wife is going to let me put 5 shelves so I can put all these things up, because these are one of the things that I decided I had to have. It's probably one of my favorite projects that we've had a chance to do here at Lionel. I'm really proud of these and very much looking forward to getting these out to the market. I think you'll see delivery on them sometime late summer, maybe early fall, but the production right now is on schedule. They've got a lot of sub-assemblies in the works, and we should be seeing some more things. So we'll definitely be posting pictures of those as soon as we get something good, something other than a bare bones mechanism to show you guys. We'll definitely put some stuff up there for you.
Yeah, the pre-orders were pretty strong on that, and they look really nice. So we're excited to getting them in our hands, and we saw some at the show. And they looked really nice, sharp. So we're looking forward to getting them in.
Yeah.
But,
So we did make it last week. Oh, you got me muted.
sorry, what was that, Ray?
Sorry, looks like I got muted there for a second. We did make an announcement last week, so we'll just touch briefly on that because it was it's probably our most controversial product we've announced in a long time for some reason, but also ended up being one of our fastest selling, and that was the Trump train. So it was one of the things we were initially going to spend some more time talking about today, but honestly, we're already sold out, and I understand you're just about sold out as well too. It blew through our hands. It was a limited run piece, and we sold out in about 24 hours. So what I like about that is that, we've been getting requests for 4 years from people to make that engine, and we figured that the market wanted it. That's what we would offer it, and the market has certainly responded. For those asking if this is something that will continue with Democratic presidents and so forth, absolutely. It's not a political thing on our end at all. Our job is to make the trains the customers are asking for, and it was one of our most requested items. So next year, we'll see what happens. We know that Trump is popular with a lot of our collectors, and Biden, assuming he stays the nominee and wins, he's definitely a known lover of Amtrak and trains, so having a tie-in with him should potentially work well too, and I have no trouble putting out a Biden Express if something chugs along with that. So we'll just see what the future holds there, but for those who jumped on board that, thank you, and I'm sure you'll get a good run. They're going to be put right into production. We actually built a lot of the sub-assemblies and everything already as part of the previous SD70 run. So we're in good shape, and they'll deliver late summer. They should ship out of the factory June 30th is the tentative ship date right now. Yeah, typically add about 6 to 7 weeks to that time to get them over here, get them through customs, and then get them through our warehouse and out the door to our dealers. So let's say late August to be safe on that. But they'll be in production and on their way to you soon. So that was an interesting social study, but also a successful product launch from a sales perspective. So we will hopefully continue that line down the future with further presidents.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it was interesting because that was actually probably the quickest to being sold out, and just that engine that we've seen in under a week. So the orders came in just tremendous, and so we only have a couple left to sell, but the demand was there. So it was interesting that you guys just did a quick on the spot, but we're looking forward to getting them out the door. And now you guys are also coming out with a new catalog. So that was like a quick announcement, but you guys are coming out with a full catalog, right?
Yes, we are working on C2. That catalog is very far along right now, and it'll be going live on July 15th of this year. So we're just 2 months from release date, and at this point we're getting our final pricing from factories and figured it out to put in there, making a few last minute tweaks and changes, but that catalog is very far along, and look very much forward to getting that out to everybody in July. We'll be back on here with you for virtual NMRA right around that time, so we'll have lots of good things to talk about. I'm sure we'll do a separate catalog show too, since as usual, I talk a lot and our catalogs run pretty long, and if we go through the whole thing on the NMRA program with 15 other manufacturers, we'll be there for as long as the actual NMRA convention would have been. So, but we'll definitely have some good stuff coming out on that. I showed pictures of everything that was in that catalog during Virtual New York, so I don't know how much more how many more cats I can let out of the bag on that one.
I'm sure you could get something for a big announcement.
But yeah, there will be a lot of things in there. If you're a Pensy fan, good chance you'll find something in there you like. If you like New York Central, pretty good chance you'll find something in there you like. If you like some colorful smaller steam engines, yeah, there's some good stuff in there too. There's a lot of fun products from all across the board. Some fun new accessories, some fun new buildings coming down the line with some great names and things like that. So I think you'll see a lot of great stuff in this catalog. I'm excited about it. And it won't have the HO section in it this year. So it's going to feel a little thinner than last year, but that's the main reason we've taken quite a chunk of HO out of that. We'll be doing that in its own release schedule going forward. But wanted to put it in sort of a bigger vehicle there for its launch last year.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting time when you do release it, because usually we get the catalogs in and everybody comes running down to the store and picking up their catalog. So it's going to be kind of like one of those bittersweet moments, because we're not sure where this all is going to land, and with this COVID-19, and hopefully, we could still get the catalogs out to people. But, worst case scenario, we'll keep on doing these live events, and hopefully you'll be able to flip through the catalog with us and kind of walk through digitally. Unfortunately, we're not sure what's going to happen, because it's just an odd time right now. And, that's one of the greatest things about retail stores throughout the country. You go to your favorite hobby shop and, you pick up that catalog, or, sometimes we even mail it to customers, and it's just going to be a little different. So we'll see what happens. But, we all got to change and adapt, and I'm sure we'll all get through this. But we would love to have you on and just do a catalog flip through, Ryan.
Absolutely, we'll definitely do something along those lines. I certainly hope that we're all back open again by the middle of July. But as you said, it's hard to tell, and who knows for sure. So I hope that we get back to normal for many reasons, not just for the catalog coming out, but it would be great if you can get to your hobby shop and get over to TrainWorld, Trainland, and pick up a catalog in person. See the guys there. Use the Lionel bathroom. Whatever else floats your boat while you're in Trainland. It's
they can't miss it. They can't miss it. Now, Ryan, also. Along with the catalog and everything, people are asking a lot of questions about shipping schedule. Do you update that on your website? How often do you update? I know you went through a lot of updates today, which was great. So hopefully for some of the guys, if you do ask the same shipping questions, you could look back on the video. But you have somewhere that you post it frequently?
Yeah, it is posted on our website.
Okay,
it was last updated fairly recently. I would say within the last 2 weeks or so. So definitely worth going on there and taking a look. We're always fine-tuning on the production side. There are always things that are slipping in and out a little bit. From where I sit in the production management seat, I get an updated schedule every other week from all of our factories, and that's what we use to judge what's going on. There haven't been a whole lot of things shifting in any great capacity over the last month or so. A few things have moved back a week or two. A few things have moved up a week or two. The factories are all doing the best they can to balance what was already a pretty heavy production year, thanks to our big orders from C2 and a good C1, with now about a month less production time to build it all in. So they're doing everything they can to sort of shrink the schedule as best as possible. Right now, everything from C2 and C1 is pretty much listed to ship no later than the end of October. As always, looking at this in May, is it possible that some of those things will slip a couple of more weeks and be in November, or possibly even not quite make the year? Yep, it's definitely possible. If I could tell you which ones of those were going to be right now, I would certainly do so. But inevitably, there's some things that come up down the road. But where we sit right now, the schedule's been holding pretty close. If you go online and look at the current shipping schedule, as of the time we're doing this live, the date should be pretty accurate, and at least give you a good, reasonable expectation of when you might be able to see things. Another caveat I've got to throw in there, especially for stuff happening in the early part, the stuff that's going to be shipping soonest. It's not just about us getting it here from overseas or even here from our own production room in-house. There's also very different delivery timelines to all of our dealers and distributors. So for you guys, we have that open, and if you're ordering things through TrainWorld, you should get stuff pretty quickly from us. It's a pretty quick turnaround. But if you're watching this and you have things on order from a smaller local hobby shop, they'll get their trains, absolutely. But some of them may not be open right now. Your local shop may still be closed. They may not be accepting shipping orders due to their issues that we're all facing. So please be patient with everybody in the supply chain, especially the guys at TrainWorld and guys like them all around. It's not their fault if the stuff's not getting to you right away. Everyone's doing everything we can. The postal services, the courier services are busier than ever handling this demand. So you may expect to wait a couple more days or a couple more weeks or even maybe more in some cases to get some of your trains if we can't get them to the places that you've been buying them from. But we're going to do our best to turn things as quickly as we can on our end to get them in the warehouse and out of the warehouse because we've got a lot of trains in there, and keeping them moving is the best thing we can do, and we want you guys to enjoy playing with them, not us staring at cardboard boxes.
Yeah, Ryan, and that's why we have some of the greatest customers in the world. I mean, all of our loyal patrons out there have been so supportive. They've been sending us emails and messages and holding their orders. So we really appreciate everyone. And I hope and I'm sure it's the same throughout the board. And like you said, if you could just be patient with all the dealers, manufacturers out there, it's definitely a frustrating and challenging time. And there's just going to be things that are up in the air that everyone's doing their best to get around. And I just saw a message about York in October, and it's like crazy. We don't even know what's going to happen. Like all of us want everything to kind of already be done and we could all move forward, but no one really has a crystal ball, unfortunately. So we're all doing the best we can. And, that's great to hear that you guys got a couple of containers coming in. We should be getting it shortly. We're going to do our best to work our butts off with limited crew to kind of get it out there. But it's just definitely challenging across the board. But like Ryan said, we appreciate everyone out there for being patient. So.
Yeah, everyone's doing the best we can to get stuff to you, and we know that it's frustrating, especially when you're sitting around and you really want something new to get here, and whether it's a new locomotive or just the tube of glue you need to put together a model. It's a struggle, but you guys have done an excellent job. At some point, we should do a behind-the-scenes tour at your place too, and show the operations you guys have going on there. And when you take a lot of people out of the equation and put all these extra things in there, it's going to create lots of fun. I'm sure international orders too are probably even more fun right now for shipping and whatnot. So. We're all doing our best, and appreciate everything that you guys at TrainWorld do to help be our interface with the public, both from things like this, talking about the product, getting you excited about it, to final delivery and great customer service.
Yeah, Ryan, and I thank you guys for always being there and hopping on and being on the forefront of the virtual trains. And last question. Do you miss the Dave and Ryan, bashing and kind of just joking around and not being in the office with them?
I absolutely do. I miss Dave very much. I also miss the whole team that we have back there, and that's probably the hardest part of all of this. Not just for me. I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of you as well as you're thinking of situations you're in. The Lionel team is a second family to me and to a lot of us. The project management staff that I have the privilege of working with on a day-to-day basis are just some of the best people that I've ever met. And we are such a tight, close-knit group that this has been a strain on all of us. But we keep in touch regularly with phone calls and of course email. So much email. But teleconferences and virtual visits and phone calls and text messages just aren't quite the same as being there with each other. So I definitely miss everybody and want everyone out there to know that please, it's not just the Ryan and Dave show at Lionel. What you see between us, the camaraderie that we have, we're kind of goofy, but you know, behind that, the goofy side of us is the fun part to put on the camera. The part where he and I are tearing apart a design for a couple of hours trying to make sure everything's right. The part where we're examining code and putting together spreadsheets or going through emails. That doesn't make for good reality TV. So we leave that off of it. But the camaraderie that you see between Dave and I, that friendship that's there with so many of us at the company. It is one big tight group, and it's probably been the biggest struggle for all of us through this, is just not being able to see each other every day and you know, pat each other on the back or kick each other in the butt, whichever is needed at the moment, and keep the project working. But we're all doing the best we can, and I'm exceedingly proud of my team and the entire company. Everyone I'm working with for being able to keep going as steadily and smoothly as we have been, given this major disruption. So, and I'm very proud of the company I work for.
I will say, as an outsider, you know, seeing your company, and when Howard kind of took over, the whole culture changed, and you guys really are family, tight knit, and very close to each other, and which is a great thing to see, and that really builds a great culture within Lionel. So, you know, hopefully you guys could get back and going, and you know, get everything up and running again. But it is what it is now, and I'm sure we'll all get through it. But
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's it. Enough bad news, good news. We'll keep on going forward. And Ryan, thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate all the comments out there. We all miss you and appreciate everything that all our customers do. And we will see you soon. And Ryan is not quitting his day job, and he will not be a singer on tour. He will stay with Lionel Trains, thank God, because I don't think I could watch another video of him playing guitar again. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ryan, for being here. And we'll see you soon. And check out the new Lionel catalog later in a couple of months or so.
Yeah, July 15th, we'll be out there with that. Thank you, Ken. If there's anybody who's had extra questions that got in that we didn't get a chance to talk about, I'm sure you'll pass them on to me via email, and I'll do my best to get answers to you all. Really appreciate everyone taking the time to come in and listen to me drone on for, gosh, almost an hour now about little updates at Lionel. It's a privilege to be able to talk to all of you like this. We've got Memorial Day right on the horizon too, so I want to not miss an opportunity here to thank all of our heroes out there in the services, the front lines today, whatever your front line is or has been. Thank you for everything y'all are doing so that we can go on making trains and having fun.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. And you could get all your Lionel products at TrainWorld.com. Thank you guys so much. Bye now.